Okay, well, time is a-flying, and it is already week 5 of our course. So if you're looking at your syllabus, at the tentative course schedule view, and looking across at the 5 for September, oh my goodness, September 19th through 25th, we're going to be starting the literary essay unit. And basically the format is going to be very similar to the last unit. If you look, we have readings today, or this week, from the textbook. We're going to be reading essays by the authors Bierce, Bukowski, Whitman, Frost, Dickinson, Vonnegut, and Cheever. Some of these names might sound familiar to you from your high school English days because they are literature pieces rather than essays. These are actually stories and poems. So they're going to be in the fiction category, and they're going to be a little more creative in their approach. And I'm also looking that we have the only assignment this week is our discussion board. Kind of a nice break from our kind of tough week last week. And on the note from last week, if you're feeling that kind of a little angst over having turned in your first paper, I know I used to feel that as a student because it just felt like it was the end of the road for that paper. And I want to encourage you that I look at papers kind of as a conversation. The feedback form you turn in with your paper is an important part of the whole process. And in turn, I'm going to give you some conversation back on that paper. So yes, in the way that there's a grade at the end, there is an end, but it is an ongoing conversation, and this is part of our big picture course that one paper is going to build onto the next one, to build onto the next one, and eventually, hopefully, we'll see our writing skills improve. Okay, so the only assignment due this week is the discussion board over the authors from those stories and poems. There was some confusion last week about what to, how much to write, who to write to, and that kind of thing. So we're going to review that in a moment. This is setting us up for the next paper, which is a literary analysis. And next week, the 6th week of the course, I'm looking over here at my syllabus, we'll be doing a writing to analyze project. Now, this week, we are laying that groundwork by discussing the stories, but it might not hurt to look at the literary analysis worksheet ahead of time. You might want to do that together with this week. Not that you have to turn it in this week, but you might want to at least open it and see what it's saying, because they do kind of all build to the pre-writing part of the paper. The paper itself is not due until October 9th, and the peer review is also due that week, or the peer editing assignment is also due that week, and that will then end this unit. See the pattern? We do readings, we have a skill of some sort that we work on, and then we turn in the paper with the peer edit. Okay, so let's look specifically at Unit 2, if you would please. And this is a little bit of different type of reading, and so it's going to require a little different writing. Do please look at the first, I'm sorry, Unit 3, I said Unit 2, I meant Unit 3. Please do look at the announcement where I give you a summary of all the readings, a summary of the assignments, and a little bit of background for the unit. Next, you'll want to go to the course content icon, and in this section you'll notice that assignment 3.1 is all about pre-writing. In other words, we need to look at the prompt and see what we're reading for, but we're going to emphasize the reading portion. Like I said before, there was some confusion about using the discussion board. Please respond to more than one of the articles, okay? Or one of these stories or poems in this case. Please also respond to at least one of the students in your class. This is really helpful in kind of building your own thoughts and developing the course and so forth. Specifically, this is asking you in the course content to respond to at least 3 of the literary texts. And in order to be able to respond to other classmates, you have to have read all of them, because other classmates will choose a different set of 3. You don't have to respond to every one of their responses. You can choose an aspect of their response. But again, it's part of this writing conversation, an important part of our writing process. Okay, And then exercise 3.2 is the literary analysis walkthrough, which if you get that sheet out as you're going through, you're only answering the colored ink section. Mine's kind of a bluish green color. I don't know, everybody's screen looks a little different. So it's it's the step 2 is the only part you're going to be answering for next week's assignment. In other words, did I say week 6? So this is just a look ahead, but you might want to get it out as you're reading so you have something that you're kind of filling in as you're reading, if that's more comfortable for you than going back to it later. Okay, I talked a mile a minute and there's so much here. I guess in summary, you are just turning in one assignment this week. You're discussing at least 3 of the literature pieces in the syllabus, and you are responding to at least one other classmate. In the discussion board, you're copying and pasting all of your responses and original thoughts to me in the assignment place, whatever we call it. I call it the Dropbox, and some people said that's kind of a confusing term, so hopefully that's clear, but the assignment Dropbox is where I'll grade it then. If you have any questions or concerns, as always, email me, preferably inside the classroom. I've been checking that a little more regularly than the school email because I'm having trouble getting the Google stuff on my phone for some reason. Crazy. Okay, hey, you have a great afternoon and rest of the week. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye-bye.